All right, guys, welcome to our call. This is our Team Sweaty Living Life. Oh my God, I cannot say it. Team call. It's Monday. It's the last Monday of January. What actually is it? It is the 28th. Oh my gosh. I am so pumped for this call. We have a very special guest speaker. I'm so excited she said yes, but I'm first going to go through some recognition. We have a lot to recognize, and I'm really, really proud of you guys. I'm going to share my screen. All right, and we're going to do this. All right, you guys, we have changed 25 lives so far this month. That is insane, considering the fact that we changed, I think, like 10 last month. So we're already more than double. There's still 3 or 4 days left in the month. We have new people on this board, which is what makes me the most happy, because we have ladies that are honestly just kicking butt and really, you know, taking the bull by the horns and going all in. And I'm just really pumped. I'm pumped for February and our Team Cup. And I just know that we can do so much more in these next couple of days. So don't stop. Keep pushing. And again, shout out to Leah, who is just killing it, who's in class right now and totally being a badass. So I am going to minimize that and introduce our guest speaker. So Ashley Feldeisen, I hope you guys all know who she is. Oh my gosh, I know Leah and I absolutely have looked up to her so much this past year. Definitely have learned so much from just watching her team calls. And if you don't know, Leah and I actually went to Albany Super Saturday back in November, or was it October? I forget, they changed it. And we went specifically because we knew that Ashley was going to be speaking there. So Ashley is actually from Rochester, New York. She is a retired first grade teacher. She's 26 years old, so she's only 26. She is a Success Club legend for 38 months. So that means, you guys, she's been helping change at least 3 lives for the past 38 months consecutively, which is insane. She is a 9-star diamond in her business center, 2-star diamond in her second business center, and a diamond in her other business center. And that's probably not even up to date, but that's the last stat that I have. And she is currently number 23 in the company. And she is just an incredible leader. And I cannot wait to hear from her and whatever wisdom she has to pass on to us tonight. So I'm going to stop my share. And I'm just going to let her take it away.
Yay. Can you guys hear me? Yes? Thumbs up. Am I good? Cool. All right. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm actually going to share my screen with you guys, if that's cool, because I have teacher brain. And if I don't talk off of something, then my brain is mush. So I do want to start by just chatting with you guys. I want to talk tonight about mastering your leadership mindset. And the reason that I'm so passionate about this subject is that I struggled with my leadership mindset for so long. So life looked a lot different this time last year. Or let's go back to like the end of 2017. So the end of 2017, like about 13 months ago, life was so different. I was a diamond coach. I had no diamonds below me at all on Team Elevate. I founded Team Elevate. And I was struggling to pay my bills. I was literally having my now fiance, it was my boyfriend at the time, having to send me money to pay for groceries at the grocery store. And it was just a part of my life where I was like, I literally had to look myself in the mirror and say to myself, Ashley, you either have to shit or you have to get off the pot. And that year I actually filled out a application to go back to teaching. And it was the worst day of my life, and I never wanted to do that again. And I knew that I could never go back to teaching, but I knew that something had to give. And it all came back down to this leadership mindset. And I want to share with you guys what I had to change and instill in my business inside of my core in order for me to now have grown an incredible business. We had an incredible year. I have advanced 33 diamonds on Team Elevate in the past 13 months. And we've risen from, we ended 2017 number 199 in the company. And we actually ended 2018 number 25 in the company. And my income 5 times itself in 1 year, in 12 months, because I took massive responsibility for my business. And now I want to help you guys build that in yours. So before I do jump into like the meat of this, I do want to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, I have to clean my glasses really quick because there's something on them. So I am 26 years old. Ugh. I'm blind without these, so hang on. Bear with me. Okay. Here we go. We're good. So I'm 26 years old. I started this business when I was 22 years old. So my entire life I wanted to teach. I grew up in actually Bath, New York, which is a really teeny tiny rural town. Not proud to say I'm from there, but that's where I'm from. And I grew up and I wanted to teach my entire life. I craved it so badly. I actually grew up with a handicapped uncle who when I would go learn to read and write, I would actually bring those things home to him. And I remember so vividly like reteaching him everything that I learned that day. So I have a really strong sense of mentorship and leadership. I've always had that instilled in my core. So I wanted to teach children how to read. So I went through high school, I went through college, I got my undergrad in elementary education. In my junior year of college, my now fiance Tyler and I fell in love, and we decided that we were going to start our relationship. Well, he was in Baltimore, Maryland. I was in Buffalo, New York, which is about a 7-hour difference. And we decided to make the long distance work. So I was finishing my undergrad, and he was actually in a startup company. He had just started his own company. And senior year of college came around, and I decided to pick up my life and move it to Baltimore with $0 in my bank account. Like literally I was living on a dream, moved right into his parents' basement where we are right now, which I'll get to in a second. Moved right into his parents' basement, and it was like the biggest culture shock for me. But luckily, I fell right into my dream teaching position. I fell right into my own classroom as a first grade teacher. I fell right into my dream master's program to become a reading specialist. And everything was like rainbows and butterflies at first. I was in this position that I dreamt of for so long, right? My whole life, I had these expectations of, I want to teach, I want to lead, I want to teach, and I want to lead. And here I was, and I was finally there, right? And it was really fun. It was like rainbows and butterflies until it wasn't anymore, until, I had cockroaches in my classroom, and my hour-long commute started getting really old, and I was going to grad school 2 nights a week, and I was working so hard. I was always pouring out of my cup, and I was never filling it back up. And it was January of 2015, almost 4 years to the date. Actually, 1 week from today will be 4 years to the date. I saw my coach. She's not a coach anymore, but I saw her on social media, and she had this incredible transformation. And it wasn't like this incredible transformation. It wasn't like this, wow, she transformed her life. It was like, wow, she's proud of herself transformation. And that was the transformation photo that changed my life. And I say that if Caitlin didn't post that photo that night, she wouldn't, had she not posted that photo, I wouldn't have been able to see myself inside of her story. And so I remember laying in bed. It was the weekend before Tyler's birthday, which is this week. And I remember laying in bed saying, like, Ty, she looks like me on the left, and I crave to look like her on the right. And I craved that sense of pride that she had accomplished something, that in her busy life as a nurse, she was doing something for herself. And so I got signed up with her that Friday. And I've never looked back. I've never taken my foot off the gas pedal in terms of my own journey. And I always like to think about why I got started in this business, or why I got started in my health journey. And it always comes back to the fact that Caitlin proved to me what I was capable of through her story. So that's what I live and breathe. And that's what I train my coaches to do. Teach other women what they can do by watching you do it. So, and I really want to bring that into you guys tonight. So I fell right in love with, obviously the portion control containers. I love the simplicity. I love the sustainability of the programs. And then Caitlin actually came to me about the coaching opportunity, and she's like, Ash, you have so much passion. What would you think about doing what I do as a coach? And for me, it was like a no-brainer. Of course, I had those limiting beliefs of, will I be successful? Will anybody listen to me? Would anybody, actually follow me on social media? But for me, it was like a no-brainer, because Caitlin proved to me that if she could just show up on social media and crush her journey, I need to crush my journey, and I need that extra layer of accountability. Why not do it and help other women do it at the same time? And so one life turned into two. 2 lives turned into 3, 3 lives turned into 10. And it was like adding a little pebble in my pile every single day. And I never wanted to quit my job. I never wanted to build the 6-figure income. I never really wanted to do these things until they started to happen little by little. And then I moved out of this little sheltered hut where in my teaching career, I was just like, I wasn't dreaming anymore. My whole life, I dreamt of this career, this life that I was gonna love. And then I got there and I didn't love it. There was something missing. And Beachbody came into my life, and I shouldn't even say Beachbody came into my life. I stepped into a position where I got to like really feel that leadership role, that bigger purpose pulling me. And I packed my bags. I moved out of that little sheltered hut, and I had the ability to dream again. And for me, that was the best blessing that this business had ever given me, this opportunity had ever given me, because what was once a goal back in February of 2015, Tyler and I said, okay, we're going to get out of his parents' basement in 2 years. Give ourselves 2 years to buy our starter home. Well, we ended up doing it 5 months later because of the opportunity to basically stash my teaching income away and just live off of my Beachbody income. In 13 months, I retired from my teaching income. And then after I retired from my teaching job, and then after I retired from my teaching job, I felt very stagnant in my business. I was the type of person where I set Diamond as this giant goal, and I let it just be that. I let it be this giant goal, and then I got there and I fell flat. I was looking at my coaches, and I was looking around at my coaches, and I was realizing they're not Ashley. None of these people that I'm attracting are me. I was literally trying to attract these perfect people. Like I was trying to attract anybody that had a pulse. Like I would get this old 50-year-old woman, but if she was doing yoga and she knew how to eat healthy, I'm like, be on my team. I couldn't relate to her. And I would literally try to attract anything with a pulse. And then I had to make that major shift in order to start growing other Ashleys. I knew that I fell in love with this business because of the products, because of the programs and the way that I felt. I needed to reach out to those other Ashleys who were busy, who needed knowledge, who just needed something simple and sustainable. And so that's where my business really changed. So now 4 years into this business, we have grown an entire team. We just ended our first 6-figure year, which is so crazy to say because that was once such a giant dream. But I want you guys to promise yourselves every single morning what you're going to accomplish. And I'm going to tell you what, I didn't grow an incredible team by just hoping and praying and living on a dream. I grew an incredible team because I realized that the only thing in the way or in between my reality and my dream life was action. And now you guys need to put that action in. The only thing in between your current situation and your dream life is action. And so I want you to tell yourself that every single day. And I want you to wake up in the morning and I want you to tell yourself every single morning, I read these things to myself. I say them out loud and my dogs probably think I'm mad, but I say these things every single morning. I am me, and that is my superpower. I'm just going to go through them quickly. It feels so incredible watching the money in my savings account grow. I enjoy following a list of income-producing activities and will feel accomplished when done daily. It feels so good to know I can have a 6-pack. I am in control of my mind. I'm consistently setting intentions and sticking to them. Badass leaders flow freely to me. My customers see what they are capable of through my story, and I am working to be the best coach for them. I lead with passion, I'm staying in my lane, and I'm controlling the controllable and influencing the rest. And so by subconsciously reminding yourself of these affirmations every day, and I would, if I were you guys, I would, first of all, buy this book on Amazon, Rise Up by Moira Kukaba. And this book is incredible, especially for newer leaders who are really trying to find like their voice in this business. But basically the activity that she has you do, and I'm just going to tell you guys quickly, she has you build a list of 10 contrast statements. So this might be an activity you guys can do, but a list of 10 contrast statements. So things that you do not love about yourself. So like mine were, I'll list a couple. I do not like the way I compare myself. I do not like my savings account. I do not like the business guilt that I feel when I'm not working. And I just listed a ton of things that I do not like about myself. And so, or about my life. And then you start building these clarity statements that align to the thing that you don't love about your life. And then those clarity statements you read every single day. And like Grant Cardone says, what you tell yourself, you literally start believing. You know, if you tell yourself you're happy every single day, you'll eventually be happy. But tell yourself these clarity statements and they start to come true. So those are my clarity statements that I say to myself every single day. And it's all about making that mental shift. Okay, let's jump into this. So let's talk about controllable things. And I want to get interactive with this, but you guys, I live in Naples, New York. That's hilarious. I used to drive through there every single day to get to cheerleading practice. So if you guys have I want you guys to just write in the chat, controllable things in your life. What are some controllable things in your business, in your life? What are controllable items that we can do? How many invites you send? Just list them off. What are controllable things you can do in your business? Working out. When we wake up, yep. Activities, right? So I can list a couple of things in this business that we can control. Number one, we can control the amount of invites we send. We can control the nutrition we put in our body. We can control how we work out, how hard we work out. We can control the amount of personal development we're doing. We can control whether we get on team calls. We can control a lot of things, right? But there are so many things that we cannot control. And the biggest theme of things that we cannot control live under this idea of other people. So we cannot control our Success Club point numbers. If we could control our Success Club point numbers, we would all hit Success Club every month. I would be a superstar diamond coach. I would hit Success Club 900 every single month, but that's not the case. We can't control that. We can't control people. We can only control the things that get us there. And for me, I had to take a hard look in the mirror and ask myself, Ashley, are you controlling the controllable, or are you trying to control the uncontrollable? And I was trying to control the uncontrollable. I was getting these coaches in and I was craving success so badly for them that I was literally driving them insane because I just wanted it and I was trying to control them and it was pushing them away. On my social media, I wasn't being authentic. I wasn't being this light that people wanted to be around because I craved success so badly that I was trying to control people. Little did I know that by focusing on the controllable things, the points, the numbers, the income would come. And so I really want you guys to start building a to-do list off of things that you can control. So instead of saying to yourself, I will hit Success Club today, or I will hit Success Club this month, I want you to think about the things that will get you to Success Club. Okay, so I know that in order to hit Success Club, I need somebody to understand that the $160 all access challenge pack is a great investment in their life. Okay, so in order for somebody to see that this challenge pack is a great investment in their life, I have to show them that I invested in it and that is a great investment in my life. I have to basically pour over into their cup. I have to help them build knowledge. Okay, so how am I going to help them build knowledge? I'm going to show up on social media. I'm going to show up with passion on social media. I'm going to change before people's eyes. I'm going to be authentic. I'm going to be a light. I'm going to prove to other people that with this challenge pack that I purchased however long ago, that I can get in the best shape of my life. Therefore, they can get in the best shape of their lives. And that's what we do as coaches. That is the biggest controllable item that we do as coaches. You listened to Emily Favre this morning on the National Wake Up Call, right? She talked about, if you can get in incredible shape, if you can pour into your own journey, you will build trust with people. That is what so many coaches struggle with. And whenever I have a coach come to me and they're like, Ashley, I'm not having any success in my business. I'm like, okay, well, how many times did you drink Shakeology this week? Rate your nutrition on a scale from 1 to 10 and tell me how hard you pushed in your workout. And if they can't give me an answer, they're like, I drink Shakeology every day. My nutrition is perfect. If they can't give me those answers, and 9 times out of 10, they can't. They're like, oh, I only worked out twice. Oh, I keep forgetting to drink my Shakeology. I ate like shit yesterday. Well, I wouldn't trust you either. I wouldn't want you to be my coach if you cannot prove to me that this is changing your life. Do you see where that kind of comes into play, where you really have to be that dream? You have to be that dream challenger in order for the dream challengers to start showing up. So control the controllable things, okay? And I'm going to get into action items in just a second. So paired with controlling the controllable things, you guys really have to make a decision. This business is all about a decision. It's so crazy to me to see some coaches who, a lot of it's just simple success. A lot of it's just a matter of them just showing up and they do start to grow the success because they're having a lot of fun with it. And then it's coaches who are they're having to work a lot harder because they're only showing up when it's convenient for them. So you have to choose. You have to decide which coach do you want to be. Do you want to be the coach where you're just showing up and you are building a new normal? And what I mean by that is it's just normal for you to show up on social media. It's just normal for you to share your life on social media. It's just normal for you to work out with Shanti every day. It's normal for you to fall in love with nutrition, for you to fall in love with listening to personal development that fuels your soul. That should just be your normal. And I promise you, this business will be very, very simple. This business gets very simple. I do the same thing every single day. It's not hard. I don't work a ton of hours. It's just very simple because it's my normal. But there are some coaches over here who decide they're only going to show up when it's convenient for them. So they only show up once a day. They only show up a couple times a week. And then they're having to give 150% of their all in on those times that they're showing up because they didn't show up. They're not building trust all of the time. Does that make sense? And hopefully that makes sense. But I want you to decide to be the coach who's just building this new normal, where it's just a part of who you are. And I know busy guys. When I first started, I was 21 years old. I was a brand new teacher. I was in grad school. I was commuting an hour to work, and I was building this business on the side. Not to mention, I was in a brand new relationship. I was living in my in-laws' basement, my soon-to-be in-laws' basement, and it was a total shock for me. So I had to set a new normal. My new normal became when I got home from work, I slipped on my entrepreneur pants, and I really dug into the business every single day. So you just have to decide. Again, be the coach who just decides that you're going to step it up every single day and you're going to build a routine out of that. And then paired with the decision is you guys have to ask yourself, what are these sacrifices? I want you to make a list of your top 4 priorities in the chat. So my top 4 priorities are my health, my Tyler, my boo, my dogs / family, and my business. So those are my top 4 priorities in my life. I want you guys to write out yours. Just choose 4. Okay. So now you have to ask yourself throughout your day, are there some action items that you're doing that do not align to your priorities? And we have to eliminate those things. So for me, when I first started this business, there were some things that I had to cut out. So my 4 things, my relationship with Tyler, my health, my business, and my family and my dogs, those are my top 4 priorities. Those are the things that all my action items need to align with. So when I was on my way to work, I was listening to music. I needed to eliminate music and I needed to add in personal development because my business was one of my priorities. So I sacrificed music to start. When I got to work every morning, I would dilly-dally around. I would bebop around my coworkers. During lunch, I would go chill in the teacher's lounge. I would, hang out with the other teachers. And literally it was like this really like lethal environment to be around anyone. It was just like burnt out teachers, and I didn't enjoy doing it. I just did it because it was my normal at the time. And so I needed to cut that out because all of the time I was wasting in the morning and during lunch, I could have been grading papers. I could have been doing my grad school homework. I could have been planning for the next day. And so that's what I needed to start doing. I needed to start, raise your hand if you're a teacher. Any teachers on the call? No? See, my entire team are teachers and nurses. So that's one thing that I had to sacrifice was in my workday. I needed to cut out the bebopping around, and I needed to start. I needed to not bring anything home with me so that when I got home, I just literally slipped on my entrepreneur pants and I started to work the business. And so that was a sacrifice I had to make. A couple other sacrifices. I was a huge Netflix lover. I would get home from work and I would melt into the couch all night long. So I replaced Netflix with income producing activities and the not so sexy action items. So these income producing activities are things like sending invites. Now I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat it, guys. If you're not sending invites, you don't have a business. If you're not sending invites, what are you trying to do? Because you're not going to build a brand unless you start sending those invites. And so if you ever checked out my video on the champions page, I talk about how in 2018, I mass invited a ton of people to, one, grow my business, to hit Success Club 50 plus every single month, to recruit more coaches, and now to build my business where it is today. You have to send your invites, because if you don't send your invites, your coaches aren't going to send their invites, and your future coaches won't send their invites. So you have to just make sure that you're doing those action items. And don't feel icky about sending these invites. I know it's like the not so sexy thing to do in this business, but think about it. You're sitting on this call because you're here for a bigger purpose. Now, there's a community of over 400,000 other people who have felt that passion. There are still so many other women and men out there who need to feel that passion, who crave that sense of community. We literally have this golden opportunity in our laps that we're ready to share. And so my brother actually owns a CrossFit gym in Rochester, and in his gym, he has to, one, pay his employees, he has to pay inventory, he has to pay rent on his equipment, he has to pay rent for his building, he has to pay for heat and electric, he has to pay for parking, pay for snow plowing, he has to pay for all of these things. And his business is just his business. He's not doing awesome. I mean, it's a CrossFit business. And here we are with paying $15 a month to keep our business alive, to keep our business above green, basically. And I think about it that so many people give that up because they have to work for it. I see my brother, my fiance, business owner as well, pour everything that they have into their businesses because they don't have another option. Treat your business as if you don't have another option. And that's what it came down to for me in 2017. I literally had to be an entrepreneur. I was so used to being this employee my whole life. I had to make that shift and become this entrepreneur and treat it like that. I had to treat it like my brother. Like if he were to just give up on his dream, he would go bankrupt. He would be wiped clean. For me, I had only $15 skin in the game every month, but I needed to treat it like I invested $100,000 into this business. And because I shifted that mindset, and I allowed myself to really say, you know what, Ashley, you have this golden opportunity under your nose. You can either go for it, or you can go back to your $40,000 income where you can't afford to live in Maryland and you have to keep asking mommy for help. Like that's the life I was living. And that's the life that I wanted to get away from so badly. So you really have to just dig deep. And like I said, the only thing standing from you today and the future you, the you that you crave, are these action items that you know what they are. We all know it. Raise your hand if you know how to be successful in this business. It's so simple. This business is so simple. I don't do anything different than you guys. We invite, we get in great shape, we network, we build relationships, we go on trips, we build more relationships, we get in better shape, we, focus on ourselves, we pour it over into other people's cups. Simple, 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 simple. Hustle, 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 hustle. And so it's a matter of you just taking advantage of that hustle, falling in love with the hustle, and doing the not so sexy stuff because you crave more of what's waiting for you at the finish line than you hate the not so sexy items. And I promise you, like when you do focus on those things, when you do focus on the why waiting for your finish line, and let's actually have some fun. I want to know for you, why are you even in this business? For you, what is your why? What's waiting for you at the finish line? Is it your dream house? Is it to quit your job? Is it to pay off your student debt? Is it to make a 6-figure income? Is it to make a 7-figure income? What's your why? Absolute freedom. I love that. Choices, right? Options. Be able to be home with your future children because my mom was home with me. Yes. Ditto. Can't wait to be home with my babies. What's your why? Be more present in your life. Financial freedom. Awesome. Okay. So I want you guys to start dreaming. I want you to be able to close your eyes and ask yourself, or not even ask yourself, tell yourself where you're going to be in 1 year from now, where you're going to be in 2 years from now, 5 years from now, and manifest it. Like, you should not for a second doubt yourself. Like, you need to starve the doubt. You need to breathe belief into your guys' businesses and just starve the doubt, eliminate all of it. And you need to tell yourself where you're going to be in 1, 3, 5 years from now. And you just need to put in the action, because the days aren't so bad when you have that belief instilled in your core. The problem with so many coaches in this business, though, is that they don't have that belief instilled in their core, and they're just kind of going through the motions, hoping and wishing for this business to work, but they're not telling themselves, I know this business will work because I believe in X, Y, and Z. If you have that belief instilled in your core, even if you didn't change a life that day, even if you didn't sign a coach that day, you can go to bed, excited, put your head on your pillow, excited, because you know that you influenced people, that you grew today. And as long as you can tell yourself every single day that I grew today, then your business is growing. And if you're not growing, your business is getting worse. So I want you to quickly in the chat, this is the last thing we'll do, I want you to put in the chat what your dream coach looks like. What does she sound like? What does she feel like? If you don't know what she feels like, but what does she look like? What does she sound like? What are her attributes? Your dream coach. You could think of your dream coach. I love that. Radiates positivity and beauty from the inside out. Committed, passion, purpose, never quit attitude, confident in their own skin. Okay, keep those trickling in. Like, right away when I think about my dream coach, I want my dream coach to be somebody who commits to every single team call. My dream coach is somebody who comes into this and she starts to dream so much bigger. Somebody who comes into this and knows that her results and her transformation literally depends on her income and her business. My dream coach is somebody who gets excited about Summit, gets excited about Super Saturday, gets excited about these trips and these incentives. My dream coach is somebody who puts in the dirty work and to know what it's going to pay off, and pumps her well even when the water pressure she can't see that water pressure growing right now. My dream coach is somebody who, I could go on and on for hours and hours and hours. My dream coach is somebody who is a sponge. She doesn't wait for information. She goes out and she finds this information. My dream coach is somebody on team calls. She's not distracted on her phone. She is listening. She's nodding. She's in it. Because my dream coach is somebody who I would want her to mentor, right? My dream coach is literally somebody that I crave to have 50 of. I want to look at my team call when I have hundreds of girls on my team call. I want to look and see them all nodding, not distracted, not sending messages on Instagram. I want people who are devoted to their team. And now it's time for you guys to take a good hard look in the mirror and ask yourself, am I her? So I read these things: confident, driven, positive, someone sweet, authentic, hardworking, loves team calls, inspires others, confident, has passion, committed, radiates positivity. She's resourceful. Are you her? And you have to take that good hard look in the mirror. And if you could say, oh, well, I'm like 70% her, that's not going to cut it. You have to be 100% her. And if you can't look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, I would definitely want to sponsor me, then some things have to change. If you're not hitting Success Club, if you're not getting on every single team call, if you are not, going out and listening to something that fuels your brain every single day, if you're not devoted to your nutrition, your workout program, and that doesn't mean you have to be perfect, but you're devoted to getting results. If you're not somebody getting to every single Saturday, making Summit a priority, not scheduling things on top of business hours, if you're not somebody who is, excited to go into your team page and root other people on, you can't expect your coaches to do that. So just take a good hard look in the mirror, guys, and ask yourself, am I my dream coach? And if you're not, make some major changes. Okay? That's all I have for you. I don't know if you guys want to do some questions, but I'll open it up for you guys.
I have a question.
Okay.
So I kind of wanted to ask something because I know that you went to New Leadership Conference last year. I'm going to New Leadership Conference, and
Yay.
I am I kind of want, all right, so this is just, I've been really like letting this self-limiting belief like take over my brain for the last like 2 weeks because I don't know anybody other than people that I like kind of know from doing guest calls or whatever. And this is my first time ever going to a big event like this by myself. And I feel so like I want to be open and like step into this and not let my fear get in the way. And I just kind of want to know, like, how did you go into that? And like, what was your mindset within, like, how did you, like, what's your best advice for going into that?
Nobody knows anybody.
Okay.
You're all going into this not knowing anybody. Literally, that's how I grew. Like Emily Favre's one of my best friends, Mandy Kai, like we all grew relationships. We were all literally there by ourselves for the first time, and we all started networking and we all started to grow our businesses together. You should embrace that. Like I said, like with my Rise Up book, any negative or any negative thing you feel in your life, turn it into a clarity statement. If you're nervous about it, change it into an affirmation. But if you go into it with nerves, you're just going to create more nerves. But if you go into it with excitement and a sense of like, wow, I have to embrace the fact that, oh my goodness, I'm a new leader, you're going to feel that when you walk into that room. Like listen to some Brendan Burchard. Every time he walks into a room, he literally exudes this like vibrance. So every time I walk into a room, I have like this clarity statement that I say, my smile speaks volumes. Like that's what I always say when that's always what I think when I'm nervous about something. Like when I walked on stage at leadership, literally, like I wanted to poop my pants and I probably should have worn a diaper. But, you know, it's, if I would have gone on saying, oh, Jeff, I'm so nervous, I'm so nervous, I'm so nervous, that's how I would have exuded, given off on social or on stage. But you have to, what your brain believes is what your body really, gives into, and go there understanding that everybody's alone. But you're vibrant, you're so cute, you're so fun, you're going to meet other yous there, and you're going to build incredible relationships.
Oh,
and I have 5 of my girls going, so you can meet up with them.
Ah, cool. Yay. All right, I have more questions if nobody else has questions.
Oh my gosh, I see Kelsey on this call, and we totally went to high school together.
Oh my God, yay.
Hey, girl.
That's so funny. Hi.
Hi.
Yay, ask questions, guys.
Yeah, so talking about your last point literally is like hit home. We had our mastermind call for Team Cup last night, and what I really wanted to hone in on is like, how do you handle when you're trying to breathe belief into people and the leadership? Like, how do you do tough love? Like, how do you with the whole point of like, can you look in the mirror and are you the coach that you would want to be, like, or that you would want to coach? Like, I find myself stuck in these situations where I feel like I don't know how to walk the line between
friend and leader.
Yes, inspiring them, but also being like, you're not doing what you're like, you're what you're saying, what you want isn't matching your actions. And I think that's like, for me, I just like, I don't know. Do you learn that over time? Like, do you just like...
I think it's something that we all struggle with. I think that it's something that it's a voice that we have. We're not all just natural born Beachbody leaders, right? Yeah. But I can tell you what, all of my coaches are my best friends. Like I literally have said to Tyler, how are we going to have 700 bridesmaids in our wedding? Like my coaches are my best friends in the world, but they're also people that I'm a very tough love coach. I can look at them and be like, get your shit together. Like your nutrition is crap. Like make sure you're eating healthy. And that's just because that's the way that I am with myself, but you just have to be true to yourself. Like you're going to attract who you are. So I attract other tough love people, but that's not to say that I have some emotional women. So I do have to, actually, when we were going for top team last year, I said to Jeff, I said, what do I need to do in order to be where Melanie Mitro is, to be, the next Brittany Leggett? Like, what do I have to do? And he said, you have to learn to train and lead every type of person. And it comes with time. You just can't expect one day for you to wake up. But I think it also comes with confidence. And you have to work on your confidence. Like when you get on a call, you can't be worried about your leadership skills because you're always going to think about that in the back of the room or in the back of your head. And most people are so focused on what other people think of them, that they're not even focused on what they think of you. So turn it around and just exude this confidence, because I can tell you what, if you don't have it, you're not going to go super far in this business. You have to change that confidence around, and you just have to lead by being yourself. Don't try to be me. Don't try to be Emily Favre. Don't try to be Melanie Mitchell. You have to be you in this business. And that's the one thing you have over other coaches.
Mm-hmm. Boom. Yeah, it's so true. I mean, I still I feel like it's still with the leadership of I know what kind of leader I want to be. I know I have it in me, but I still have that, it just even hopping on team calls still, I just know I'm having that in the back of my mind. So you're right. I just need to lean into
Affirmations. Listen to Grant Cardone, Be Obsessed or Be Average.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That book will breathe belief inside of you. Grant Cardone can make anybody successful.
Yeah, check him out. Anybody have any questions for Ashley? Please ask. This is
I've got a question. So we talk about personal development books all the time, but I'm a huge podcast junkie. So I listen to podcasts all day long at my full-time job. And I'm kind of stuck where I don't really know, okay, what else can I listen to? But I want to listen more to business focused podcasts. Mm-hmm. What would you recommend?
I'm not a reader either. I do not read. I only read fiction novels. So I feel you. And I was a podcast junkie too, but I will tell you there is a fine line between too much personal development and not enough personal development. So make sure you're not going past it, because I have a lot of coaches actually in my organization who have been with me for so long and they haven't found success because they're so in love with, feeling their brain, but they're not matching their action to it.
Okay.
So I think that there is, and remember, you have to build a parallel of personal development to professional development.
Sure.
So I would say if you are reading too many things like Rachel Hollis and Gabby Bernstein and, all of these fluffy things that we all need, Brendon Burchard, these fluffy life things that we all need, you need to build a parallel to the business development. So Grant Cardone, listen to Be Obsessed or Be Average. Every single one of you guys need to add that to your Audible tonight. Be Obsessed or Be Average. If you guys are doing a team cup, listen to it this month with your team cup team, because he's going to prove to you that we're all playing small. We're all playing small, and that we're capable of so much more in our lives. I love that one. What else do I love? I love so many things. I have a ton up here. Grant Cardone, the 10X rule is really good. I like tough stuff. I like tough love stuff. But on podcasts, listening to the life coach is good. Or what else is really good? Hang on, let me open my Audible. I don't remember names of things.
Me either.
My library. Oh, A Tribe Called Bliss is good.
Ooh, okay.
Dare to Lead. And then the rest are just very fluffy things that I like to listen to. But Grant Cardone, if you really need something professional development, listen to him.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh, yes. I like the Mother Effing CEO project too. That's another
cool. I gotta write that down.
Tough lovey. He's from Missouri or something like that. I don't know. It's so good.
Oh, and the new one by Keith Callahan, Built to Last.
Oh. So Leah has a question. She's going to type it in the chat.
Okay.
Really quickly, I remember you mentioning at Super Saturday, when you got in, you were into the top 10 and you had this mindset funk that you got into. What was that? Your self-limiting beliefs kind of coming up, or what really was that? And how did you get yourself out of it?
We got into the top 10 so organically. We never, we weren't even pushing for it. We just woke up. It was February of last year. We were number 10 in the network, and it was holy shit. And then I felt like, and then I drove myself insane keeping it. So I knew that we got there organically, and now I was trying to control the uncontrollable. I was trying to control people to get Success Club. I was trying to control all of these things. I stopped working out. I stopped eating healthy because my brain, I started getting migraines. So for those of you who don't know my story, I have chronic migraines, stroke-like migraines that I don't have anymore unless I'm stressed. And I pushed myself into this, and I got 3 a week. I was getting them like all the time. And I went back to my roots of like this stress life, and I was trying to control the uncontrollable, and I wasn't having fun anymore. And I'm so proud of number 25 in the company. Like I would have never imagined that we would end number 25 in the company, but to be in number 10 team and then go to number 25, it kind of hurts a little bit, but we got to number 25 having a lot of fun in September, October time. We really started to bring that fun back in, and now Team Elevate has multiplied. We went from like a 300 person team by like summit of last year, and now we've just over 1K people on our team. So it's just, when you have fun, guys, people are attracted to that, and I stopped having fun because I saw something shiny. Don't see something shiny. Don't focus on the numbers. Don't focus on the dollar amounts. Top 10 is cool, and I think we're going to hit it this year, but I'm not going to drive myself crazy to hit it.
Yes. Okay. So Leah's question, she said, I struggle with feeling like I'm never going to get working coaches. When you were trying to grow your business, did you invite to coaching as much as you invited to your boot camps? Struggle with knowing what to say when to invite.
I don't invite to the coaching journey opportunity. I got started as a challenger. I only get my girls started as challengers. So what I do is very, very, very simple. Number one, talk about my boot camps for 1 full week a month. I talk about my coach sneak peeks for 1 full week a month. If you follow me, you'll notice that the first week of every month, I start my my boot camp open. So that last week of every month, I start enrollment of my boot camp. So enrollment started today for my February 4th boot camp. Then the 3rd week of every month, I host my coach sneak peek. So for that whole week before I host my coach sneak peek, I'm talking about the coach sneak peek. I just built that into my routine. I have my entire year planned out. I know every week that I'm hosting my coach sneak peek. I know every week that I'm opening enrollment for my boot camp. That way I hit Success Club 10 by the 1st or 2nd of the month. I'm enrolling my girls, and I'm, getting it done very early. But the only time I talk about enrolling coaches is during that coach sneak peek time. And then when I sign up a challenger for my boot camp, I always say, awesome, I just need to know 3 things from you: your email, what Shakeology flavor you want, vanilla is my favorite, blah, 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 blah. And do you want to kickstart with coaching? You're not, either way, it's fine, but I did it this way, and it was a great way for me. Actually, I'll just post this in here. I have the script. It was a great way for me to really build that extra accountability layer. Let me find it. Right here. And then that way I'm signing coaches up while being a challenger, but still really heavily focusing on them being a challenger first and then getting their feet wet with the opportunity. A lot of people don't really understand the coaching journey. So when you do say, do you want to kick off your journey with being a coach as well? I did this and just use my social media as a platform to share my journey, and it definitely helped keep me accountable. They're starting to see, okay, that's what coaching is all about. And I've had a lot of successful coaches that way, come out of the woodwork that way. But other than that, I talk about coaching. I just have so much fun. I literally, my theme that we said going into the new year is give people FOMO. Our goal is to just give people FOMO, and they won't be able to say no to the coaching opportunity.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right, guys. Do you guys have any more questions for Ashley before we let her go? No? Oh my God, Ashley, thank you so much.
You're welcome, guys.
This was amazing. I just so thankful. Give us so many truth bombs. All right, guys. Thank you guys for hopping on, and thank you, Ashley, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, Ashley.